You mentioned earlier that with 3,400 people in hospital, the situation is still too tight to loosen any measures. Do you have an idea of what that number would need to get to before some measures can be lifted?
Good try, but I'll let that to Christian.
Well, you see, maybe you'll see in the coming days, because one thing that I think is of interest. Back in December, when we had some forecast from l'INES, at that time, Dr. Boileau was in a different chair, but we were at about 1,500 hospitalization per day. And we were told that because the numbers were increasing at a speed that was exponential, and that we could be, if we didn't do anything, and remember the range that was between 3,500 hospitalization and 5,000. And at that time, I remember we said, no, we cannot accept that. And that's the reason we have taken those measures. And the mid-range went from 1,500 to exactly 3,400. So the forecast that l'INES has done in the last week of December that have triggered those tough measures that we put in place was that we didn't want to go over 3,500. And I would say, given all the good work that the Quebecers have done, we are able to contain that right now. So that gives you how fast this went from roughly 1,500 to 3,500. And I think the question is, now that we are getting back some employees and that we have a decrease in the stabilization of the cases, I should say, I think we'll see in the coming weeks. But I think each day we will update you, and next week we'll have new forecasts that will be prepared by l'INES. But I think it's encouraging that the worst case that was planned to us, forecasted to us at the last week of December, we are now just a bit below that after all those tough measures that were taken. So I think we can go back and say that was the right decision.